Well, you join us in the natural confines, Padraic. We decided.
Beautiful.
We decided to show you a bit of Cavan, so...
I've actually seen quite a bit of it there coming down the road, but thanks, Paul.
Ladies and gentlemen, you join me now as I'm speaking to Padraic Cutlife, and Padraic is a part of Choorpy Music Network, and well, he's from Derry. He's come all the way down from Derry to see us today. He's experienced Cavan roads firsthand for the day, so...
It took me 2 weeks to get it.
Wait, you're trying to get home.
I think I'll just stay.
No, this is like Hotel California, you know that?
Is it, eh?
Yeah, you can check out anytime you like,
staying,
but you can never leave.
I'm screwed.
Paul, tell us about Choorpy Network and what's the story there?
Oh, well, surely. I've set it up. I set it up 3 years ago. I've always worked in independent music and helping independent artists through management, and I've worn hats across multiple variants of the industry, with the view to helping independent artists promote themselves and monetize their career and everything else, you know. So in the last 3 years I've built 3 businesses. I've created opportunities across the world, in Canada, Los Angeles, Manchester, Ireland, you know.
All from your base in Derry?
All from based in Derry with zero budget. Might as well get that in there. And just a real passion and a real mission to, you know, create an uprising in independent music and actually help artists in a world where it's a monopoly of major record labels and consumer-led business, and artists have been forgotten about, creatives have been forgotten about.
Artists become product.
They're product. They're not even product. They're not even making any money. You know, it's nonsense. So, you know, I have partnered with organisations around the world who are grassroots, independent, and they are rising and they are doing things, and those things are starting to come together. You know, it's going to take time, but you know, the more that this happens and the more that we all come together and we connect and, you know, collaborate and create things for independent artists, and you know, we can make the change over a period of time. You know. So
how did this come about? Is Padraic a musician?
I am a musician, but I come from a music family who are very well known in the northwest of Ireland. My siblings are all music teachers, whereas I went into the technology side, and you know, black sheep of the family, don't like being told what to do and that kind of thing, you know. So I went off on a tangent.
Are you the youngest?
No, I'm not. I'm the second oldest. So I went off on a tangent. Are you trying to say I was spoiled? That's why?
No. I thought you had middle child syndrome.
No, I'm just mad. So I went off on a tangent, and you know, I did a degree in music technology and stuff. And then I actually worked in Ardmore Studios in Bray and Wicklow doing sound, post-production sound for Hollywood films and stuff. And then
like
I got
what? Come on. Blow your trumpet. You're here now.
Ella Enchanted, The Mindhunters, Disco Pigs.
You worked on all them films?
Yeah, and it was amazing. I worked with guys like Tom Johnson. Tom won Oscars for like Titanic and Terminator, and you know, one of the best mixers in the world, and people like that, you know. So it was amazing, and we had to work closely with Miramax producers, the Harvey Weinstein guys.
Just while you're on that, Padraic, right?
Yeah.
Mixing a film, like, well, for example, Titanic, right?
Yeah.
You know, people go and see it, and it's the same as making a record. People hear the record, but they don't know what goes into it.
It's a massive job. It's huge. I mean, just a very simple thing that could take 3 hours would be the likes of a Foley stage, which is where you have a load of props. So, for example, a car door closing. So they have to position all the mics. They have to have the mixer there. They have to have the big screen up there. They have to sync it exactly to the kadunk, as you say.
Yeah.
So you have a Foley artist who will be in the pit, and they'll be doing it, and they'll be recording it, and you know, that could take hours alone just to get that one sound. You know,
that door closing.
So when people try to figure out why does it cost so much money to make films, well, you know, when you break it all down,
it's sound effects
it's huge, but the sound's amazing. You know, the way they do it is incredible, and you have loads of different editors. You have dialogue, you have, you know, Foley, you have I can't remember, but you know, it's just amazing how they do it, and they put it all together. Then the guys mix it then, so they take in all the tracks from these
like
editors.
It's like making a record.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah, you could say that. So
putting it all together and then mixing
it on the reels then, and then putting it up on the big screen, and then they mix it then to the actual picture itself. You know, in a cinema, because that's where you're going to see it and watch it. So that's where they actually mix it in the same environment. You know, so that you're hearing what they actually heard when they mixed it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm always thinking. You're watching a film and thinking, do they sit with just the dialogue and then add stuff afterwards and add the music afterwards?
Yeah,
I've seen orchestras.
It's all split down.
Yeah.
So you have a dialogue. You might, in a big film, you'll have multiple dialogue editors in little rooms, and they'll be sitting on their Pro Tools and their computer editing away, you know, for days, weeks, months, years even, you know, depending on how big the film is. And then they send that into the mixing guys, and then they mix that into the film, you know. So it's an incredible amount of work. So, but yeah, I did that, and then
you left behind the Hollywood career.
I left. Well, I didn't. You know what? At the time, the Irish government pulled the tax incentive, so the Americans pulled out, so I was left out of work.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, it was great. So I ended up working in a bank.
Good. Oh, no.
So I went off on another tangent and started doing...
was this in Derry now?
This was in Dublin.
In Dublin.
Qualified financial advisor exams and all this crap. And, no interest, but I did it anyway. And it looks good in the CV, but that's about it.
But your hunger took over, didn't it?
So, yeah, my hunger took over. I got back into music. I started managing bands in the north when I got back to the north. That's where it all kicked off, really. And the passion for helping independent artists kind of comes from my own family as well, from them being musicians. And
how does it work in the north managing a band? I know how it works in the south. Phone calls, knocking on doors, and Dublin sometimes is impossible to penetrate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's Northern Ireland like?
It's much the same, It doesn't.
You're ringing people.
Management doesn't change. You're ringing people. You're getting them with PR people. You're getting them with the right people. You're figuring out ways. You're always figuring out stuff. What's the best way? And I mean, in the modern world now, you have to know digital marketing. If you're going to be a music manager or any aspect of music, you have to really know how to market online.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
Social
That's where everyone is. Completely. You have to know it inside out, and you have to know how it works, and you have to know where people are. Where young people. They're on Instagram. They're on Snapchat. They're on Twitter. You have to be on all these places, and you have to have your hand in them all, fingers in all the pies,
Pinterest,
and
whatever.
Pinterest them all, and you have to hit them all, and you have to know how to hit them too, and how to access those people and get in their radar, because it's a stream of information constantly, so how do you stand out from everybody else? How do you get through? So, and then when you look at it, there's 60 million plus probably independent musicians worldwide. So the competition, and musicians don't think like that. It's vast, it's massive. So why I'm doing what I'm doing from the Choorpy Connect is the educational aspect of Choorpy, where we bring in industry speakers who have 20, 30 years of knowledge in a particular area of the industry. So they come in and they share their knowledge with that room full of people. So it's up to those artists then to go away and take that information. So a good example, I actually do videos myself on YouTube, educational videos. It's #AskChoorpy. So somebody asks me a question, and then I do my best to answer it, basically, So I'm providing free education to artists from my knowledge.
For making videos?
Not for the music industry.
Music industry,
for all the different aspects. So one example is a young artist in Belfast. She watched one of my videos. It was about marketing. She went off and did. She hadn't even told me I wasn't talking to her. She went off and did and applied what I had said in the video. And then I was chatting to her like a week later, and we just got into conversation, and she says, "Thanks a million for your video, it was amazing. I did what you said, and within 2 days my songs went from 5,000 to 55,000 in 2 days, and that's after probably a couple of years to get to 5,000. So if you can apply that knowledge to artists that they don't know, and they take it away and they use it, that's an example of what can happen, So Pete Holiday was in speaking there in March in the Workman's Club in Dublin last month. That was the second Choorpy Connect event, and he was sharing his experience and knowledge, 20, 30 years of the industry. He's worn every hat. He's a lecturer in Ballyfermot. He knows everybody that's anybody in the music industry, and he knows his stuff. And he was telling them how to network, and how to use your network, and how to, apply your knowledge and everything else, and PR and that kind of thing. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's to help artists as much as possible, because a lot of them don't know, and they get caught up in this whirlwind of the machine, which is the monopoly of major labour. So a guy will come along tomorrow and he'll say, "Listen, I like your music, I'm going to make you loads of money." And every single time, I've seen it so many times, they're gone. And 2 years later or 2 months later, they're back with their tail wagging between their legs.
I've seen it.
You've seen it yourself?
Hundreds of times.
I've seen it hundreds of times too. And no matter how many times I try to tell artists that that's the case, a lot of the time they don't listen. So I'm trying a new approach now. I'm trying to bring in the actual people from industry, the Pete Holidays, the artists, like somebody from the Stripes or whatever, to come in and tell them, look, we've gone through this entire process. We've dealt with labels, we've dealt with managers, we've dealt with PR. We can tell you where the pitfalls are, how to avoid them, who the good people are, and so on and so forth. So that's going
to... And you won't see them?
No. You don't see them. They get you every time. Unless you have that knowledge, they'll get you every time. So by bringing in these people and sharing this knowledge, we can help young artists who don't have that knowledge to avoid 3-4 years of wasting their life and then ending up back where they started,
How often do you do these Choorpy events?
At the moment, because I've zero budget and I'm just relying on people to help me as much as possible, they're actually once a month. But I really want to ramp that up even more.
Well, if you talk to the camera there now and tell everyone out there what the story is.
Yep. So just what I was saying, but if you can get involved and go to the website, it's www.choorpyconnect.com. That's CHOORPY, and go on and register and get involved and come along to the events. You'll see them on there when they're on. Get on the facebook.com/Choorpy webpage. And you'll see when the events are on as well, you know.
On Facebook as well.
That's
you're
on
on
Facebook.
everything.
Yeah, I'm on everywhere. I'm everywhere because you have to be, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've had a number of successful marketing campaigns, and I've taught it all to myself and how it works, and you know, things are working. So the new one is Secret Gig, #Secret Gig. It's just a few days old, but it's proven very popular, and a lot of music fans are very interested.
Yeah.
So what I want to do now is create a platform where young artists can come in. They don't get any promotion before the gig, but because there's such interest with fans over Secret Gigs, I'm bringing in all these fans, exposing their music to new people that they wouldn't normally have.
That's incredible. Any band now listening to that, you want to rewind this now and listen to that again. Is that that is really good.
Yeah.
That is great. Now,
it's exposing them to new fans, and you know the promotion comes afterwards, and it's very hard to explain the musicians this as well and how it works. Is that we're in a different era. Young people think very differently. So a Secret Gig 10 years ago wouldn't have worked.
No.
But nowadays it's like gold dust. You know, they're like, I'll go. I don't care who's playing.
Go for the
I'll
crack,
go.
yeah.
You know, but my background is I've sat in A&R panels with Bob Geldof and Nigel Grange and Rupert Hine and all these guys. So I have a good name so far to speak that these guys have confided in me that I am good enough in music.
You work incredibly hard, Paul.
I work hard, but not only that, my ear as well. You know, somebody like Nigel Grange who discovered Thin Lizzy, the Boomtown Rats, Sinead O'Connor. Me and him are in an artist development partnership now. So he's actually, you know, he thinks I am worth that. You know, to work with, so that respect. So I want to get that across the artists in Ireland that if Nigel Grange puts a respect into me, please give that respect to me too, and I will help you with gigs. I'll help you get, you know, educated, and I'll help you with the process of getting from zero to hopefully wherever you want to be in music. And it's not going to happen for everyone. Look, it's very simple. Your music has to be good. You have to have a good attitude. You have to work hard. You have to, you know, there's a number of tick boxes.
Work hard.
Work
That's
very
the
hard.
big one.
Work very hard. But the key, the thing that's missing, there's a couple of things that are missing for young artists, and one of them is education, and the other one is opportunities, and the other one is network. So them's the three things that I've tapped into that I am creating to help those artists, you know. And nobody, as far as, well, people are doing it, but they're not doing it enough.
No.
You know. So.
I heard a great thing on the radio the other day where somebody was in a band on tour or something like that, and said, the interviewer said, what do you think of this business? And they said, it's hard work, and it's the 2 hours you're playing isn't hard.
Yeah.
It's the other 22.
Exactly.
You've got to work even harder.
Oh, completely. I mean, there's no artist that doesn't love playing, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that comes first. But look, you have to make a living. It's only fair that you've spent your whole life practicing, putting money into 2 lessons. Your parents have probably spent a fortune on you, and so on and so forth.
Hoping you'd be something else.
Yeah, well, probably, yeah. But like, you know, it's I don't know where it all went wrong. I suppose it was digital and the likes of Apple and Steve Jobs and Napster, and there was a multiple facets of different things that actually created what we have now, the mess that we have now. You know, and streaming is the thing now.
Blame X Factor and things like that.
Absolutely. I have no time for it, to be honest, and I've no time. You know, to be fair, in the modern day now, a lot of young artists are actually turning the X Factor. I've seen it myself because they don't see that there's anything else for them. So I don't blame them. Don't get me wrong. You know, I have no problem with anyone going on X Factor. But for me, it's I haven't got any time for it because I think it's taken away completely from what music should be. It's about creativity. It's about you know being true to yourself as a musician. And just because you know we're in a bit of an era now where it's very difficult and there's no money in it, doesn't mean that it won't turn around at some point.
And there is no money in it.
You know, there's no money in. There's money in live and there's money in sync, but then you have to work so hard and you have to have this education and these opportunities in this network.
And merchandising.
You know, yeah.
Merchandising is a big one too, isn't it?
Merchandising, yeah. I mean, but then you have to do that. A lot of artists don't bother, you know.
No, which is incredible.
Yeah. So, and like a lot of my experience too is from promoting gigs is you end up, you know, artists just think, oh, you're the promoter, you can do everything. You know, but they have the fans on the Facebook page and the Twitter, and it has to be both parties or it doesn't work, you know. And what happens there, and I hope they're listening to this, is that the artists that actually do that 50% of work are the artists that go up. Yeah. The artists that go, it's your job.
Yeah.
will
No,
still
forget about it, forget
be
it.
in the same place.
Quit now, yeah.
You know, and that's
Get
just
out while
a
you're
little
ahead.
piece of advice and knowledge that it's true. And you just have to look at so many artists. It's the same. That is so true. You know, if you don't put in the effort, then you're not going to rise up the ranks. You know, I always use the analogy. It's like a pyramid. You know, at different stages, and you have to do so many different things and achieve so many different things to get to the top of that pyramid. And the problem in the music industry is the guy comes along when you're at the bottom and says, I'm going to make you a load of money, so you believe in your head that you're going straight to the top, but you're not.
You're not.
You're
No,
not.
Not by a
It's an
long shot.
illusion.
Not.
So unless you're really, really lucky, but that doesn't even happen nowadays, you know.
Not at all. Even the X Factors, the Got Talent things.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at how many went through X Factor, how many have actually made it? Where are they now? You know, even the ones that made it massive, if you want to call it that, where are they now?
People have said to me, you know, about singers that we know and bands that we know, you know, obviously as well. They said, would you not put them on Britain's Got Talent or Ireland's Got Talent, The Voice or something like that? And I said to them, who won it 2 years ago? Nobody has ever answered the question. Yeah. Nobody knows.
I'll tell you who won it. Simon Cowell and his team.
Oh, yeah.
That's who won it. And that's who's won it since day one.
It's about them.
They're out there in a super yacht out in the middle of the Mediterranean while you're crying in your cornflakes. You know, wake up. That's what it is. It's a machine, and it's taking advantage of you for him and his team to make money. So, you know, and that's the way it is. And I mean, fair play. He capitalised on a
absolutely.
You know, a market. He's seen it and he went with it, and he's made a fortune from it. You know, so he's a businessman.
You're a lot younger than me, but he's the Huey Green of now. It's opportunity knocks with money added.
Completely. He's seen an opportunity and he took it. You know, he started. To be fair, I think I don't know exactly, but I think he started as like a T-boy or something on a record label.
Oh, he did,
or filing or something like that, and the guy worked his way to the top. So you know, we can't take away the credit from him. It's just what he's done to music. He's like, you know, creativity's gone. You know.
Do you run these networks and things in the north as well?
I've got one now next month in May. In Belfast.
Tell them.
So
anybody in Belfast now?
Can't tell you who the speaker is until Monday, but it is somebody. It's a real top artist from Northern Ireland who has been through the entire process from nobody to being very well known, and not only in Ireland but worldwide. And that person is going to come in and share their knowledge with you, and I'm not telling you who it is, no matter how much you point me.
Well, look, so you better give a date now when that is in Belfast.
It's the 21st of May.
21st of May.
Yeah, and it's actually it's in partnership with the East Arts Festival, which helps me because it's so difficult.
In Belfast. That's a big one.
It's in the Strand Cinema in Belfast. You know, which is a lovely venue.
Yeah.
It's like a smaller version of the Sugar Club. So it's really, really nice. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. And then the plan then is for June, hopefully, bringing in Nigel Grange. Nigel Grange is going to be in Dublin from LA in June, so I'm hoping to get Nigel in to do a talk in June, and I think that'll be a big one, you know.
And the people are watching in the music business. If you don't know who Nigel Grange is, Google him. Do not Wikipedia, because you can't believe anything's on Wikipedia. Google the man. He's
I mean, he's massive in terms of popular music and the history of Irish, popular music. He's right up there, if not the top person.
I turned it on his head.
I mean,
a couple of times.
Sinead O'Connor, Thin Lizzy, Buntrain Rats, Waterboys. I mean, most of his acts, even though the guy's from London, most of his acts were Irish.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you himself, he doesn't know how that happened. Yeah. It just happens,
you know. The way it was.
And he's done so much for the history of music in Ireland. And helped those artists and stuff, and they were massive. I mean, Sinead O'Connor, that was huge sales, and the Buntrain Rats and everything else. So the guy has a vast amount of knowledge, and his stories, great at telling stories and stuff.
When's he talking with you?
June. We haven't got a set date yet, but it's like, I think it's around the 11th, 12th, 13th, around that period of time. That's what I'm hoping for anyway, So he's going to be in Dublin. We're actually I'm doing a Choorpy Connect now in Manchester in May as well, the last weekend of May. So it's
How will that work now?
Well, I put on an Irish showcase in Toronto as part of Canada Indie Week as one of the opportunities for Irish artists.
This is the hardest working man I've been viewed so far.
Yeah, that's what everyone says, and I'm still broke. Figure that one out.
Love.
So I went over to Canada and I set that up, and I went to New York and I met with Northside Media Festival in New York, which is the second biggest independent festival in New York, and they actually closed down an entire street in Brooklyn for their event for the festival. So
in the middle of
Yeah. Completely closed down. They've that power. Yeah, in Brooklyn, in what do you call it, Williamsburg, which is a really popular area. So I met those guys. They're really interested in working with me too. But it's not going to happen this year. But it might happen next year when I'm a bit more established. You know. But that's what I do. I go out and I try and create opportunities for artists. Because they have to, a lot of them have to be outside Ireland because that's where the kind of network is and the opportunities are. You know, so I'm trying to help them network and connect them with these people around the world. You know, so I went to Canada, set that up. Very good relationship now with Darryl, the chief guy behind the festival. And I get a lot of branding and stuff for my brand across all the festival literature and everything else. So now I've been invited to put on the first Choorpy Connect at Indie Week Europe. So this is our first year in Manchester.
In Manchester.
Aye, and so yeah, Choorpy Connect will be part of that.
When is that?
It's the last weekend it's 27th to 31st of May. So there's looking like it's going to be amazing. You know, a lot of great people, speakers coming in and stuff, and you know that kind of thing. So, you know, so it's incredible. And then you know. I've been talking and meeting with people too. There's guys called on Convention in the UK who do a lot of similar work to what I do. So I've connected with them too, and they connected with a crowd in Brazil who do a lot of this stuff. So the connections are being made.
Yes,
the network is happening. It's coming together across the world. You know, so it's just being able to keep expanding that and keep it's all the good people. That's what I call it.
What's Padraic's dream?
My dream is artists making a living, which is only fair, you know.
If you got a major artist out of all this, would you be happy?
If I get a major artist,
you know,
like signed a major record label?
No, they were on. They're gone on whatever it is nowadays. I don't know. It's not MTV because there's no music on MTV.
Yeah.
Any program. This, for instance, I've got somebody who's #1 all over the world, and they say, only for Choorpy, I wouldn't be here now.
It would only make me happy if they had actually followed the process and they were developed right, and it wasn't a quick fix thing that, you know, in 6 months or a year they're back with their tail between their legs. I would like to see it being developed over a period of time with the right people, and they have a career, you know, not the X Factor manufacturer stuff. I want to see, that would make me happy to see one, even if it was just one artist, that they had listened to what we told them, they connected with these people, and they'd gone through that process, and then they become the model for everyone else, a benchmark.
And there are knockbacks.
You know,
you're
always going to get knockbacks every day.
Yeah. You know? It's a full-on shoulder, though, isn't it?
Completely. You have to knock walls down with your head until you get anywhere, you know, and you have to keep knocking, and then a door opens. Eventually, it opens.
It will.
But you have to have that persistence, and you have to have a thick skin, you know, and it's a very, very tough industry. There's no glossing over it or lying, or you know, and it's tougher now than it ever was. So, but that's not to put artists off. It's just
great. It is great
putting it out there to let them know that that's the way it is. But there are a lot of people out there who want to help you, but it's up to you to do your due diligence and figure out who those people are, who are the good people, and who are the people that are telling you, you know, oh, I work with this person, I work with that person, I'm going to make you a lot of money. Check it out.
No,
you know.
And again, like you were just saying there, I have this discussion all the time with people who are into sports the way we're into music. And they say, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And I say, well, it's the same as somebody that wants to attain something in sport.
Yeah.
They have to give the commitment, and commitment is the big word.
Completely, yeah, it's built into you. It's part of who you are. You've spent your entire life probably practicing an instrument, and the amount of money you've put into it. So, you know, it's understandable why musicians are really, really pissed off that they're not getting paid. And, you know, there's all this pay-to-play stuff and all this nonsense going on, you know. But then there's the other side of the flip of the coin, which I was saying earlier, is that they have to be seen. It has to be a partnership. You know, if a good promoter comes along, you have to work with them, not against them. So it's not always about money, you know. And you know,
will you go to festivals now this year and look and see what's going on?
I won't, because number one, I'm too busy and I don't have the money. Otherwise I would, you know. But generally I do most of my A&R work online, because I don't get the time to go out to gigs anymore or festivals, because I'm doing all this stuff.
You're working all the time.
You know what I mean? I'm working for the artists in a room, locked away behind a computer. So, but hopefully with these gigs and these events and, you know, what I'm creating now, I can get out more and actually meet with artists and speak to them. And like even the first two events, the amount of people I met who I've connected with now, who are friends and I'm helping, is phenomenal. It's fantastic, you know.
Well, we're evidence of that. You're here, you're in Cavan now.
Exactly. This is part of it.
The
and there's two secret artists, part of the secret gig thing. It's the first one that's happening tomorrow night in the Twisted Pepper, and these two artists, nobody knows who they are, so I've just picked them myself, But they're two people who have been very helpful to me as well, and got connected and got into the mould, and they're involved, if you know what I mean. So I selected them because their music's great and I really like it, and I think it'll go down really well with, unless you're heavy metal or a raver, then you will like it, that way. So death metal, which is generally the larger part of the population, will like these artists. So that's what I want to do now as well. I want to keep putting on these secret gigs, bringing in quality but up and coming artists, not established artists, artists that need to build an audience. So my vision is to bring them into a venue like the Workman's Club that's rammed.
Brilliant.
Which isn't happening. Yeah. But just the fact that they're getting a room full of fans that aren't their fans but potentially could become their fans because we've exposed them to, through this secret gig. And then after the gig they get loads of promotion, they get all the PR and stuff, and it comes after the gig, through all the social media channels that I have and all the marketing and everything else. So it's just kind of flipping the model on its head, and trying to be smart and trying to come up with quirky ways to marketing ways to help artists, because the traditional method isn't really working. I've been to a number of gigs now where there's been 4 or 5 people in the room, and it's no good.
I know all about it. Well, Padraic, best of luck.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
It's been absolutely fascinating.
Great to be here on such a beautiful day.
This is a start, because when you come back and tell us how it is going.
Absolutely, I'd love to.
So from now on, when you're going to Dublin to organise these things,
I'm not yet, because I'm not driving down that road.
We'll show you the proper way to go.
Over the mountain.
Oh no, don't go over the mountain. You'd never get here. No, we'll show you but we want you to come back and tell us,
of course,
how it's going, what the developments are.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know at a later date who that one is in Northern Ireland now. It's coming up now.
Just one thing to add. Another thing that just came into my head there yesterday was that I want to get into colleges and schools and universities. So if there is anybody out there watching this, please get in touch with me, because I want to get in there and access the younger artists and show them what I'm doing and show them how it all works and how the process works.
A lot of colleges watch the show,
that's what I really want to do, because it's so difficult behind a computer screen. But if I can get in there and meet them in person and show them who I am and what I do.
Padraic, I'm going to let you finish with the last word now, telling people how they can contact you, where to find you, give them all the information there into the camera.
Sure, so the website is choorpyconnect.com. You can email me on information@choorpy.com. I'm on Twitter @musicchampion, and Instagram choorpyconnect, and I think that's it.
Facebook
at Choorpy on Twitter. Facebook's /Choorpy.
Yeah. And don't forget the spelling of that Choorpy is CHOORPY. Is that right?
2 O's. CHOORPY. Choorpy. Yeah. So yeah, you can get me in any of those. But I mean, a lot of people now in music circles in Ireland, or at least a lot in Dublin and Belfast, know me already. So even if you don't know the spelling or whatever, or you need a contact, just ask somebody, because somebody will know me. Somewhere along the line.
I'll come to the Totally PC page, because we have Padraic on there all the time, and we're keeping you updated in exactly what's going on.
Brilliant.
Padraic, thanks an absolute
You're very welcome
for coming on. I would love to go and sit in a bar somewhere and just talk about the whole thing properly.
Yeah.
And it will happen.
A few hours.
It will happen, because
be great.
A subject like this can't be covered in just a few minutes.
No.
And it is
fast. There's so much to it, and I have done a lot, that I would like to talk about. But yeah, it's going to take a bit of time, and I would like to get into classes to tell these students what I've done and what I've achieved, and how I want to pass that over to them and help them to develop their careers from here on in. So that's it. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Padraic Cutlife. Don't forget, look from Choorpy Music Networking and events, and we'll keep you informed of the events that are coming up. Padraic, thanks a million.
You're very welcome.